Oh shit. I call this weapon the Onslaught, mainly because Lego's status dynamite vortex stick sounds kinda stupid. It's appropriate, but stupid. Hey, what's happening everybody? Hope you guys are feeling great. I'm Team Kills and what I like to do is make gaming easier. Now, when it comes to the kit guns, these can be some of the best melee weapons in Warframe, mainly because you can build them any way you want. Tailor them to your unique play style, or what I personally like to do is when I find a Riven and Riven stats that I really like, then I go and make that weapon to boost those Riven stats. Now, I'm not sure if this is cheating or if it's building it backwards, but it works too well for me to keep it to my goddamn self. Now, down on Cetus at the Build a Weapon shop, which is kind of like our Build a Bear shop, except it's with metal, pain, blood, and sorrow. But yes, still fun for the whole family and everyone that's involved. Now these are the parts that I decide to use for the Onslaught. As always, you can tweak, you can do whatever you want. Like I like to say, this is the best thing about the Zaws. They're whatever you want to do. What I wanted to do was, well, everything. Seriously, I was getting a little bit greedy. I wanted balance, status, crit, damage, and a couple special effects. And of course, the special effects are what make this weapon, special. Now, because of the beautiful ribbon that I found, I made a status build, a blood rush build, and both. All of these can be done without a ribbon, by the way. Now the crit does what crit's gonna do, and it does it goddamn well because that's crit. I didn't go for a full blood rush build. I usually make what I call a broken blood rush build. What I'm talking about is I don't use any combo counter mods. I use the Narman School of Focus. Its major passive allows your combo counter to go down by only 5 instead of going all the way down to 0. This is pretty deadly. The major thing you need to remember is the arcane melee duplicate. When it's maxed, which mine isn't, but when it's maxed, every time you get a crit, you're going to get that crit twice. And at a 53% chance that you're going to do 5 times your damage, there's not really much more we need to do with this one. And for my crit damage plus status build, which is not crit damage plus status, it's crit damage and status. I have Blood Rush and True Steel for the crit. There's still a 53% chance that I will get 2 times my normal damage, which is 5,700 and change. Now, melee retaliation is an arcane that will boost my damage depending on how much shields my Warframe has. Pick whatever Warframe you want and the shield will go up. I mean, your damage will go up. There is a 72% chance that there is a status effect will happen. This is the plus status. When status happens, Boreal Contempt will give me an extra 60% damage on that status. Now, Exodia Force, which is on every single build of the Onslaught. Now, Exodia Force will give you a 50% chance on a status effect to explode for 200% damage for 6 meteor rain. This is why I call it the exploding dynamite stick. Now, it's pretty much every other hit. So when you add the School of Nerman passive skill, you have crit, then a damage section, and then some status with a plus. Now, last but not least is my special murder. This is, well, special, which actually is a status build. At 102% chance that condition overload will give me an 80% boost for whatever status effect is affecting the target. I also, because of the Carnus Mandible and Jungleist Barbs, I get to be a little extra slippery when I use a heavy attack. And if I use a slam attack, I get an extra tentacle that comes out and will grab an enemy and slam her around to death. It actually sounds way better than it is, but it is kind of useful. Now, having a status effect means every single time I hit an enemy, I have a 50% chance that Exodia Force is going to explode for 200% the damage. It's basically every other hit. Now, technically, it's 50% chance per hit. So, as far as math goes, you could get 10 hits where it doesn't work. You can get 10 hits where it works in a row. 50% every hit, but if you're looking at it, it pretty much works every other hit. Now, to add to that special status murder, I added Melee Vortex. Now, every time I get a magnetic status effect, there's a 45% chance it's going to pull enemies from 18 meters, all of them, into my death zone. And then, those group of enemies are going to get hit with at least 280% of your weapon damage. Or maybe the guy before got hit with 280. Somebody's getting hit with 280% weapon damage. It's just an onslaught or a special way to murder. Now, this can be done without a ribbon, but it's done better with one. So, as always, my question to you is, what would you do? What ribbons have you found? What kit, monster, onslaught, special murder weapons are you going to put together? And of course, one of the best thing about these kit guns, and a lot of the other weapons too, but best thing about the kit guns is you don't have to have one. I've done this with the Kerr Path, I just couldn't decide. I just couldn't choose which ribbons, builds, or parts I like the best. So I didn't. I kept them both. And yes, I am aware that I've called these things kit guns probably 7 times. They are Zaws. I know they're Zaws. I just keep screwing up the name. But everything I said applies to kit guns as well. And I'm not going back to changing editing. But on that note, I hope this helps. I hope you join the team of killers. Become a killer of teams. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. It's one of the ways we can talk. Make sure you keep it easy in life. And remember, just keep gaming.